Just now, a young man asked me, why is my life moving very slowly? Why am I not achieving the progress that I want? Why is God not answering my prayers? Earlier, he said to me, God doesn't seem to like me. He's not answered my prayers. And then there was another time when he said, would you recommend suicide? There is another young man that I know. He believes he has a demon attached to him. He loves God, but he has a demon attached to him. He said to me once, why does God allow this demon to be attached to me? Why is God like this? Doesn't God care? I myself have asked certain questions concerning God. Why does God not answer certain prayers of mine? There is a problem I am suffering with, and I spoke to God about it a few times. And I suppose the word few is a great understatement. I believe, spoken to Him almost every day about it. And I still speak to Him about it. But He does not seem to remove the problem. He seems to keep the problem in my life. I am reminded of St. Paul, who prayed about a certain problem 3 times. And God's final answer to him was, my grace is sufficient for you. Maybe that's the answer that God is giving to all of us today. Maybe that's the answer to persistent questions. Maybe that's the answer to a great question. We have a great question. Why does God not care? Why does God not care about me? Why did God offer Paul such an answer? What is the meaning of that statement? My grace is sufficient for you. Does it mean I'm not going to take your problem away? You have to live with your problem, but I will give you the grace to live with it. You will find your strength in me. God is our strength. It is in His strength that we must live. It is on His strength that we must rely. Is that the meaning of that statement? As I grapple with these questions, as each and every one grapples with his or her questions, and this is the most troubling of those questions. Why has God not answered my prayer? Why does God not seem to care? Why does God bless someone else? Why does He not bless me? What's wrong with me? Oh Lord, what's wrong with me? Why are you cruel to me? Why do you neglect me? That's the question which many people are asking in the world. At least that's my assumption. I have heard a few people ask this question. People have written to me and said that they don't feel comfortable with faith. Why does God seem so unfair? Why does faith work in the case of one person, but not in the case of another person? Why do some people say, as one person said recently, God is so great, God is so wonderful. And another person says, God's not great, God hasn't taken care of me. God has neglected me. God has not done His best for me. God makes me wait. God has done nothing to help me. I failed. I prayed to God for success, but I still failed. Oh, why does God hate me? Why is this demon attached to me? A young man asked. I prayed. I asked God for release, but this thing is still with me. Why does God not seem to care? And what was that answer all about? My grace is sufficient for you. Was he saying, no, I will not deliver you from that trouble. You'll have to go through it in my strength. Why does he say that to some people? Whereas other people say they've been delivered. They are so happy about it. They shouted from their rooftops, oh, I've been delivered. God has delivered me. I feel delivered. I feel free. I feel victorious. Where others have to suffer. Where others have to mourn. When I think about mourning and suffering, I remember what Jesus said. Blessed are they who mourn, for they will be comforted. Maybe there is a blessing in mourning. Maybe there is a blessing in suffering. Maybe there is a blessing in waiting. Maybe this blessing could be greater than the blessing of those who seem to be rejoicing right now, who seem to be pumping their fists and saying, oh, God has saved me. I think there might be something to mourning. There might be something to waiting. There might be something to suffering, which is far deeper than the joy, the exuberance that people feel when God does something wonderful in their lives. And God does do wonderful things in life. God does enable people. God does promote people. And there are a lot of people in the world who experience the goodness of God. Yet there are others who have not experienced that. They have experienced something else. Like John Erickson Tada, sitting in a wheelchair all her life. That was not a blessing. Certainly not a blessing when she first knew about it. But she came to accept it as God's will for her. And she tried to do her best despite that great disability. She did whatever she could. She did not sit and mourn forever. She did not feel sad for herself forever. At a certain point she said to herself, I have a purpose in life. I am going to do something for God. I am going to help other disabled people in the world. And so she started her work for God. Maybe there is a great blessing in suffering. Maybe there is a great blessing in waiting. And this might well be a greater blessing than those who are smiling today and enjoying their lives today. I believe that it's really the select few who are chosen to undergo the severe tests. And those who undergo the severe tests in life are probably the ones whom God has chosen. As a teacher, I know that I administer the most difficult tests to the most capable students. I don't administer a difficult test to an average student. I don't do such things. The difficult tests are for the most capable students. Maybe God works like that. And those who are suffering today, those who are wondering why God has not answered their prayers, those who are asking, why is God unfair in my case, may do well to consider what I just said. The difficult tests are for the most capable students. Yes, that's what I'm going to comfort myself with today. And I hope I could comfort you as well. God bless you.